So like 6 weeks ago, I don't know, 6 weeks, up or down, I'd have to go back to my messages and look. I was at home after work watching TV one night. These roads are terrible. Thanks, South Carolina. But I was at home watching television, and I got a message out of the blue from a buddy of mine in Anderson that him and his son, they're a couple local racers, and he said, listen man, I know where there is a car you might be interested in. He says, I know where there is a Days of Thunder car in the woods. And it kind of caught me off guard. I was like, what? Days of Thunder car in the woods. I think there's so many bullet points of that conversation that just don't add up. Because I'm like, it's probably not a Days of Thunder car. It's probably something that looks like a Days of Thunder car. It's probably not in the woods. It's, you know, it might be somebody's front yard or something like that. But, and I'm like, all right, you know, it's worth something that outlandish is worth following up on. And he said the car is in Florida. This is the guy's name. He says he's on my friends list. Just send him a contact and tell him I told you, you know, why you're messaging him and yada, yada, yada. So I sent the guy a message. And it was like an hour later, he sends me one back and he said, yeah, the car is up the road from my house. And he sends me like a screenshot or a photo that he has that he took. And man, there is a Days of Thunder car sitting in the woods. So immediately I'm like, well, do you have the guy's phone number or how to get in contact with him? And he didn't know the guy, he just knew of the car. And so I had to do like some 90s era detective work and figure out how to get a hold of this guy, and no trace of him on social media. All I had was an address. So finally what I figured out was through tax records, I got the guy's name, and I thought, well, the only thing I can do is just, you know, do the antiquated send him a letter in the mail. So I basically wrote up a letter, typed it out, and mailed the guy, and crossed my fingers to see what's happened. Weeks go by, probably a month almost went by, and we were coming home from dinner one Sunday evening, and I got a random phone call from the west coast of Florida, and I figured I get so many solicitation calls, I figured it was like a robocall or something, and I didn't answer it. And then I thought to myself, man, I think that's the town on the caller ID was where that car was. So I called back, and man, absolutely, he got my letter and called me, and we talked for like an hour, and I had a deal struck on the car before I hung up the phone. But he said it's been a while back, and hell, you know, me and my entire family had COVID for like a month, so that put me behind. But today's the day. I've got a, you know, like I said before, about a 7-hour ride ahead of me to get down there to get to this thing, and I have no idea what to expect. It looks rough in the pictures, and I'm kind of concerned what's left of it and if it's even worth getting. But I've got a trailer, I've got tools, I brought my battery-powered Sawzall in case I have to cut trees down around this thing. But if it looks like it's going to stay in one piece going down the highway on my trailer, then we're going to yank it out of the woods and we're going to bring it home and we're going to see what we got. But I'm pretty stoked about this. I think this is going to be fun. Lord knows I need the time out of the shop anyways to catch my breath. So let's get down these Georgia back roads and get out to the interstate. Let's have some fun. So my only complaint with Buc-ee's is, as big as this facility is and as big as this parking lot is, there's no place for somebody like me or this dude pulling an RV or a trailer with an RV and all that nonsense to park near the building. I've got to walk like 4 miles to take a leak. So like 8 hours later, finally starting to get close. I'm like a mile away and I have no idea what I'm gonna see. And I don't know. This might have been a wasted ride, or this might have been like the find of the century, but we'll find out here in about 2 minutes. Literally, GPS says 2 minutes. Look at that. Wow.
And it looks terrible right now because I took the wheels off to get them fixed. One stayed up. And it's just dirty. I was hoping to wash it, but I never got time for everyday life.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, I know. Trust me. Wow. That is cool.
It really is. It's my dad. I don't know how in the world he got it. He got things I never understood. How in the world did you get your hands?
Man, the dumb stuff we do for old cars, I swear to Dale himself. If I don't get hit in the face by the wire here. There it goes. There it goes. It's going. I think that front left wheel's locked up on it, but
I should back up and move it closer. It looks like you might be able to.
yeah, I think we'll be all right.
Okay.
Might tear your driveway up a little bit, but Lord have mercy. I don't even know how much that I got. What a fiasco. So, someone put a truck rear in the back of that car. So the wheels and tires I brought that had good tires on it to get it out of there didn't even fit the car. So I had to take them off and then go find a tire place and put my good tires on the wheels that came off of the car, and then we had to drag it out of there and then get it loaded up. I am hot and sweaty and dirty, and I'm ready for a cold adult beverage and some food and a cold shower, man. Probably the other way around. Shower, beer, food. But man, that car is rough. It is so rough. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. But I drove so far to get it, it's like I wasn't leaving it. And I'm glad the tire guy, I didn't even think the video that. I was in such a rush to get the tires changed out to get back before the weather got here. The guy was super helpful and got me done quick, but my God, is it expensive in Florida to change wheels or tires out. I'm in the wrong business, in the wrong state. But anyways, I think the guy that's changing that thing out sees this. Thank you. Glad you got me dealt with so fast. But I'm gonna go take a shower and go get something to eat in a little bit. The dumb crap that we do for old cars, man. Good Lord. Car is literally roached.
I'll just hook to it and we'll pull it this way. I see two rolling.
So let's talk about the 18 car. I have known about this car for probably 2 or 3 years. And it popped up on one of those abandoned race car and racetrack pages. And I saw the car, I looked at the photos really well, and I thought to myself, that car looks like the real thing. It looks like one of the stunt cars. It didn't look like a show car or a clone or anything like that. So I did a little bit of detective work, a little bit of research, and I honestly can't remember how I found out, but I found out where the car was. The car was down in Daytona Beach. And I called the place where it was, and a gentleman answered the phone, and he was not nice. Apparently, I was not the only one to find out where the car was. So when I called, I don't know how many people had called before me, but apparently he was tired of getting phone calls about this car. And I was cursed at. Several F-bombs were dropped on me, and I was told never to call again, that the car was not for sale, and the guy hung up the phone on me. So at that point, I just kind of washed my hands of the whole thing and just kind of moved on from it. So let's fast forward. You saw the story on how I acquired this car. After I got this car home, got it cleaned up, I parked it in here where you see it right now, and I did a quick TikTok video on finding the car in the woods where it was. And it got like I think now it's at 1.6 million views, which to me is crazy. I had 3 guys message me and say, look, I know where another one of these cars is. So I think all 3 guys spoke to the owner. One of them, this is the current owner. Let's back up here. The car apparently, from the time I first found it and was screamed at, had been sold to another gentleman. And this guy was awesome. Very nice. Not going to say his name just because of privacy stuff. But if you see this, thank you for being so awesome and selling me this car. But anyways, these 3 guys talked to the owner. One of them, I guess, must be fairly close friends with him, got me his phone number, sent me his phone number, and we spoke over the phone several times. I drove down to see the car just to make sure it was what I thought it was, and it's definitely the same car. And got a deal worked out, and we got the car bought, and we brought the car home, and hit it with a pressure washer, cleaned the junk out of it, and I rolled it in here basically, for the most part, as it was, minus some night crawlers and a lot of leaves later. It's sitting here. Both cars, I have been asked this, I can't tell you how many times, if I'm going to restore them, what I'm going to do with them. as a professional car restorer, I think these cars are not restorable. I think they are absolutely perfect the way they are. They are as they were the last time they were used when they filmed. I don't want to lose that originality. You know, I think they're beautiful the way they sit, and I have no plans on selling them. I have no plans on restoring them. I think as long as they are inside and they are in a climate-controlled environment, they are fine the way they are. So they'll probably sit here, and hopefully, brings me to my next thing. If you know where any more of these cars are, actual screen-used Days of Thunder race cars, preferably an Exxon car, the rest of them, the Exxon car, the City car, or the Superflow car, looking for those. My Miller Pontiac, which probably most people have seen 1,000 times already, is also a screen-used Days of Thunder car. It's sitting on the opposite side of the room over there, and at some point I'm going to do a video on that car. But I'm talking. Thank you very much for watching. If you like what you're watching, like, subscribe, tell your friends. Supporting me helps find these cars and gets them out of the places that they are and gets them into a place where they can either be restored or at least preserved as they sit right now. If you know where any of these old race cars are, let me know. I might be interested in them. I might have friends that are interested in them, but please do not let these old anything, Grand National, ARCA, Busch, Winston Cup, you know, these things need to be saved. They don't need to be sitting in the woods somewhere. Please save these cars. Thank you for watching.